So, is Google dying? These are the questions that a lot of people would have asked. So, one of the many reasons people are worried about is their business, and majority of their revenue come from Google search. All right. So that's why people are very worried, or investors are very worried, if like majority of people in the public are not using Google search, it will definitely affect their search advertisement revenue. For Google, they have monopoly power in search. Should I put it that way? They deny lah, but we all know if you go search, right, you will most likely go to Google. The younger generation, I'm not so sure, but for me, I definitely go Google. So if you ask me if I'm still using Google search, yes, I'm still using Google search. As much as I've used ChatGPT, but I think the habit is still going to Google search to search public information, or to search some like public site, or just to search some sources through Google. Yeah. So some of the people will use Gemini to search, but for me, I still use Google search, because right now, if you have not aware, Google search, if you change your way of inputs, if you just type in something like Thai food, most likely they will just give you suggestion, give you like some map, or give you some links to go into some Thai food restaurant. All right. But if you ask, what is good Thai food, for example, most likely there will be a portion to show you some idea of how to make good Thai food. There's an AI overview to give you some responses, and then some cooking method, or some restaurants that you might want to look into to improve your cooking style, for example. So there's this AI overview portion that pop up to the top. So instead of the sponsor ads, sponsors like companies, whatever, that putting out their advertisement, right now, AI overview have taken on 30 to 40% of the real estate before you go to the bottom to other search result. Yeah, so this is the thing whereby investors are quite worried. So is Google dying? Let's look further into it. All right. Okay. So 15 years ago, I received tickets. I just go so-called apply for tickets to join a YouTube event. All right. So 15 years ago, when I was in Taiwan, I so-called try my luck to go to their YouTube Music Day. All right. So this is the early days when YouTube wanting to get into our time span. So 15 years ago, YouTube run a music day just to drive user, just to drive activity, a marketing event for people to use YouTube, learn about YouTube, and watch from YouTube. All right, so this is 15 years ago. And last week, I went to another YouTube event as well. So this time around is in Singapore. So for the longest time, I always want to go to Google. I want to join Google as a team or whatever, but I don't have the chance to do it. But last week, I have a chance to visit Google office, and then specifically for YouTube event. It's a YouTube shopping accelerator event. So what have YouTube Singapore done is this, all right? So if you go to TikTok, there's a TikTok store, there's TikTok shop. People can just watch TikTok and put in order to purchase goods from TikTok, all right? So if you are a TikTok user, and to address this new shopping method, YouTube come with a new avenue, all right? Obviously, they felt the threat from TikTok lah. If everyone go to TikTok, watch all those TikTok video, and then purchase like stuff from there, right? And they will bring away people from YouTube. So YouTube have find a way for the content creator to stay in YouTube, so that they can also get some income lah, some source of income by selling stuff from YouTube. All right. So YouTube have partnered Shopee. So if you are a C limited investor, good news, because right now, other than Shopee Live, right now, people who are on YouTube, the content creator, can also sell stuff from YouTube. I think this is specifically to Singapore at the moment because they are partnering YouTube. But obviously, after Singapore, I would say naturally they'll go into Malaysia or even Taiwan or even the South America, where YouTube and Shopee both have presence. So let's go into Google's Q2 2025 earning results that is released last week, 23rd of July. So their quarterly earnings is close to 100 billion. Right now, is sitting at 96 billion for last quarter. And in fact, it's growing like in a 14%. For a large company like them, is at 14%. Look at their revenue breakdown right here. So their search, their YouTube ads, the Google network, and subscription. These are their 4 different revenue source. And you can see the big blue portion, right? The biggest portion, close to 80%, is still from this thing called Google service, which is Google search. Yeah. There's a big bulk of revenue is still from Google search. So we generate this like research, proprietary research, after I read their latest earnings report and also their earnings call. Okay. Yeah. So there's no wonder why people are worried about the Google search result. And then, yes, it's close to a so-called 1.5 years when we talk about ChatGPT, we talk about AI search result, and then ChatGPT right now even want to run their own browsers. But you can see right here, even so many news out there, their Google search compared to last year, last quarter itself, is still growing at 12%, which is impressive. And if you look at their subscriptions and platform, is going at 20%, right? So their ad space, advertisement space, right, is growing at close to 12 to 13%, and their subscription space is growing at 20%, which is very impressive for a billion-dollar company like them. All right. And if you look at their YouTube performance, every single quarter have been growing like crazy. And a lot of it is drive by direct response. Means you go to YouTube, there's a YouTube ads that pop up, and then click on it, is a direct response marketing lah. All right, so this is from YouTube. And what is more impressive is their Google Cloud growth. So right now, their Google Cloud growth is at 20%, if I'm not wrong, and their profit margin is at 20% as well, right? So if you look at their Google Cloud operating margin at 20%, it's grow from the 10% to 20%. So in a year itself, they have doubled their profit margin. Means they save more money, or by economy skills, make more revenue. With the fixed cost, their operating margin went higher. So there's operating leverage from Google Cloud of so-called business. Yeah. So this is what we can see right here. So let's look at this breakdown. All right. It's not the full revenue, but these three different segments: YouTube ads, Google Clouds, and Google search revenue. The green color is Google search revenue. So you can see Google search revenue is in the teens. So in like the 10 or 15%. All right. The YouTube as well. But if you look at their Google Cloud revenue, CAGR is at 30%. All right. So for a huge company like them, there's a segments that can grow 30%. I would say it's a very, very impressive effort by the team. All right. And then some of the numbers that they shown in terms of AI, right? So AI mode, so the Gemini users right now have close to 100 million monthly active users. 100 million monthly active users. So I'm not sure. For our developers, they are so-called using Gemini, and specifically Gemini 2.5 mode. And then in terms of token process is 980 trillion. And in fact, they shared in their meetings is close to double. It's close to double compared to last quarter itself. So you see that there's a lot of usage in their Gemini. All right. And they claim themselves for all the new tech startup or unicorn out there, right? Most likely they are using Google Cloud Platform. Why? Because for GCP, right, with all the AI model or usage or features, right, it's better using Google Cloud than using Amazon or even Azure. So if you look at the competitors or look at all those unicorn out there, right, most likely they are using GCP. So the key management insights have already shared that they are the leading frontier of AI at already a very incredible space, and then AI is positively impacting every part of their business. So this is the latest result and latest earning. For investors who just look at their earnings presentation or their earnings slides, right, most likely these are the things that you sieve up. And most likely these are things that will give you some idea and some understanding on the progress of the company. But if you like to understand deeper on the business itself, all right, there's a few things that I would say we should pay attention to. First thing is their product. If you are the user, the best. If you are not the user, it's best you can ask people who are using it. So for example, developers, for example, maybe people are using like the YouTube subscription, or people who are using Google One service. All right. So ask the users, ask the developers, or even ask marketers, especially those people who putting ads through YouTube, through Google. Are they still using it? Because in the end of the day, this is where the revenue come from. So first thing, product. All right. Second thing, the deeper level is also because if you ask a certain user, a certain group, maybe they are very positive, and maybe they are just the 10% out of the 100% of users. So it's not really giving you the best idea or the best pictures of the business itself. So the second best thing to do is to listen to earnings transcript, or listen to their earnings release and read their earnings transcript. So these are the two things that I find, if you are interested in a company, you have to invest in a company, best every earnings report, right? Whatever they say, right? Go into these two things, their product and also their earnings transcript. All right. So this come to the main gist of the session itself, is Google dying. This might be the first time you're listening here, and this might be for the longest time you have missed out our update. You are the first time coming back. So some of the portion whereby we like to make sure you guys are aligned. I hope you will get a better understanding before you go to the next segment. But right now, I hope for these sessions, we have gone through sets updates, we have gone through Google earnings release. I hope you guys get a lot of value right here, and then get some understanding of the business first. All right. So I hope these sessions give a clear idea of how you perceive a company before you go deeper into investing in the company. So for people who are subscribing to our community, Goodwill community house, right, you will know that this group of people are paying $10 every single month. All right. So this group of people are paying $10 every single month just to subscribe and then listen to our next portion itself. So if you're interested in learning what the two items that I talked about, which is talking about the product usage itself and talking about the earnings transcript, what is the key idea, which we'll share in our closed community. These are the subscription link that you can join. All right. So you can just go to click.goodwill.com/join-WP. If you are yet to subscribe, right, maybe this is the first taste you get through from the style, the thing that I will talk about when it comes to investing in a company. Because a lot of investing channel out there, yes, there's a lot. There's different investing guru, there are different investment analysts that are very, very good at their analytic skill, looking into company, looking into investment. But for me, I think what I would see differently is really, I will see myself as a user of the company product, or as a clientele or client of the company product. Because in the end of the day, revenue comes from somewhere, and revenue comes from paying customer, paying user. If you yourself should be a potential customer and you are not using it, then that might be some gap that the company should address. Or if this company or your business should using this service but you are not using, then what's the issue of this company? What's the problem? Yeah. And the most problematic thing is, if you are this user of this company and you cancel the service, then it's even worse. So that's why I always go back to the fundamental of the business, which is their revenue source. Yeah. How are they going to continue to generate value and generate revenue for investor? Because without clientele, investor is just nothing. Because if your business have no customer, as an investor, you get nothing in the end of the day. Is Google dying? So this is the thing whereby if you go to Google, things that you search. So for example, you are doing like SEO for a website. You want to learn about SEO. You just type in SEO. So when you type in SEO, there's a AI lab research that talk about what is SEO. SEO is like search engine or optimization, like teach you about SEO. So previously, without this portion, SEMrush, the advertisement, should be the top line. Means SEMrush is the top portion, the estate that SEMrush paying to get on top. But right now, because of the AI overview lab, it get pushed downwards. As an advertiser, all right, okay, so 93% are still using, all right, very good. All right, so maybe I just, as an advertiser, all right, as a advertiser, do you like AI lab or AI overview itself on top? right now as an advertiser, as an advertiser. All right. So as an advertiser, obviously, you should be at the beginning of the movie play, right? So for example, you go for a movie at cinema, right? No point getting it at the end of the movie, right? You should be at the first 5 minutes or even like first 20, 30 minutes of the before the movie play. Yeah. So these are the thing whereby as an advertiser, I would think, doesn't look positive. Like right now, my advertisement is not at the front. The user will just read AI overview, not even going down to my advertisement. Yeah. So this is the thing whereby Google just like hitting himself on the leg lah. All right. And the other way, which is some of the advertisements they put on Google Map. So right now you can see. So right now, let's say you go for Thai food, right? I search for Thai food, and then you can see, actually, you see the sponsors restaurant is still on top. Still not too bad. All right. So there's some so-called adaptation on different pages, different search. All right. So this is just simply typing SEO or just simply typing Thai food. Right. So if you type Thai food, right, most likely from the app, from the map, right, you suggest you some Thai restaurant, and then the top sponsor are still shown right there. All right. So there's some mixture right here. But let's say if you type in playpen, right? So I bought a playpen for my kid. All right. So you're still having some sponsor ads right here. Still positive. So from my opinion right here, the advertisement is still visible, although it's not putting high priority, but it's still visible to the public. Yeah. Just like your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, right? You feed you some posts before the sponsors post, right? Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing right here. I still click into add and link below as it more relevant. The argument is the ads is still useful. The ad space in the Google search result is still useful. Yeah. So Google, they know if they don't give up this AI overview search result, right? The user will go somewhere else to search for result. They'll go ChatGPT to ask question. All right. You see these are the different here. So this is just playpen. This is just which is the best playpen. So which is the best playpen? The inputs, right? They will detect it and then they will answer it smartly lah. So they will use AI overview to answer you smartly. So if you just type playpen, right, most likely they'll assume you are very into purchasing a playpen. You know what you want, so they just feed you the advertisement. Yeah. All right. So this is what I'm seeing right here as a user or as an advertiser or potentially investor. So just to declare, I'm not a Google investor, but I'm looking into maybe some investment into Google. I'll share with you why. Some of the key questions that asked in the earnings itself. So first, everyone is very, very into how they monetize their AI, particular in search. All right. These are the questions that raised by the investment analyst. I find very important and very relevant for investors because, yeah, you have all this AI overview that tick off all the estate, right? Would you be able to monetize in all these AI investment in a day? All right, particularly in search. This is what CEO Sundar Pichai responded like. AI is positive impact every part of the business, even internally, right? So internally, they are using AI to code. All right, internally they are using AI across different departments, different functions that drive up efficiency. So right now they say, in fact, for their business, right, is driving strong momentum and giving double-digit revenue growth, which is the AI search result, like 12% in their AI search. All right. So they claim that they are having very positive and performing well, right? If you feel positive after listening to them, then you buy in. But if you just thought, hey, it's just word leh, then that's when you should follow up in the next quarter. And then we should take this note to the next quarter and then see how the investment or how the management will address the same question. So this is the thing whereby when we listen to earnings call, right, we will follow up the next quarter itself as well. All right. So what is the impact on AI user behavior and search? So obviously the AI feature users getting more result and is positive, then the users search more. So this is what they find out. So because of the AI feature, users search more. So it's not just type playpen, right? And then just swipe through. No, users search even more. User key in more keywords or key in more question in their search and drive up search even more because they want to find search that meet their needs. Yeah, especially for younger users. If you're a younger user, you say, oh, after I type in certain, like for example, play plan, right? There's a lot of play plan. Just tell me the best play plan, right? So you get more sharp in terms of question. Just when people start using ChatGPT, right? You need to get more sharp in keying your prompter. Likewise. Okay, so this is what Google is discovering. Next is also about the YouTube. So these are the subscription plan that you can see offered by Google. So there's this Google One service. If you are paying $20 per year to use GPT, right? Maybe you should consider Google AI Pro, because Google AI Pro also include Gemini, include 2 TB storage of photo and Gmail, and then it also include VO 3 and also Wiz with VO 2. All right. When I look at this, right, I start to consider myself, hey, maybe I should switch my usage from ChatGPT to Google, because right now I'm paying $20 every month for ChatGPT. But of course, ChatGPT give like very good result, very good response, and that me myself like used to it and then relied on it, and that's why I continue to use it. But when I look at this like plan, right, maybe I should look into this because I get Gemini usage. Yeah, with notebook LLM with higher limits. All right. So right now, I'm not just thinking as an investor. So right now, as a user, I'm considering switching. So if you see that, maybe if you ask the same question to different user, if there's that kind of question come pop up and then they have different decision, right? Maybe it's a sign for Google itself. All right. So this is me. I will not say everyone, but for YouTube Premium, right? So YouTube, I'm okay with watching ads. So I just watch ads like just a few minutes, no, a few seconds, at most 1 minute, and I'm not spending much time on YouTube anyway. In a sense, 6 7 hours. No, it's like at most on train, like 1 hour. Yeah. So if I watch maybe just 5 minutes ads, I'm still fine. All right. You can see 20 over dollars, close to $30 for family plan. Yep. And then if you like still watching some ads, right, there's a premium light plan. Right. But if you compare to Netflix, it's also somewhat the same. Yeah. $30 per month, $30 per month for Netflix. So obviously, YouTube and Netflix have different group of creators. Netflix is a big production. YouTube is a smaller size production. Generally, smaller size production. I should put it that way because like YouTube, there's Mr. Beast, right? Yep. YouTube, there's different type of content. Yeah. I have friends subscribing YouTube Premium. Yeah. So they have been like skipping all the ads. But for me, I'm not paying for that. So as a user, I'm more drawn towards Google AI Pro package with all the storage, with the Gemini, with creator package kind of thing. This is from a consumer side of thinking. And let's look at for a company level of thinking. So how does Google view the balance and strategy between YouTube advertising and subscription revenue? So this is what their response is. If you are investor or if you are the business owner, you would love their response. Why? We love ads business. We love our subscription business. YouTube subscriptions are increasingly important for YouTube. We definitely continue a long-term focus here. We also have a very deep understanding of monetization here. Where are we monetizing more with ads? Where can we potentially monetize more with subscription? So I think we will continue this as double tier strategy actively going forward. In short, they want to make both sides. They want to make ad revenue. They also want to make their YouTube premium revenue. So they want to make both sides. So as a business owner or as an investor, when I listen to this, I say, very good. Why? Because you are optimizing a business to make both sides of revenue instead of one. Yeah, so I see this as a positive response from the management. For CapEx, they increased from 75 to 85 billion. So some of the question is, can they materialize the CapEx? So one of the things that they raise is like the CapEx, yes, they spend in it, right? They may not materialize in the next quarter or even next year. Maybe need time to digest and then get more revenue after which. So I think it's not so important right here. Agentic search. If you have followed ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT have introduced their ChatGPT agent for public usage. I think it's available in Singapore already. Yeah, I think it's available in Singapore already. But Gemini, they have not providing agentic search. It's more for their own internal search. So this is the thing. But then they talk about agentic search. So right now they have Google search. You have your Gemini app. So where should you search? Will you go to Google search or will you go to Gemini app to search? Yeah. So this is the question being raised by the investor. They also want to know, hey, where do users normally do their search? Yeah, and then what is the difference? Why? Because if both serve the same purpose, right? Why you maintain two different searching sites? Isn't it better to use just one? Yeah, just use google.com. So this is what the management response. So it serves different purposes. Google search is very grounded in search experience. In other words, you like different site, you like different sources that give you the experience of searching stuff. Yeah. So Google search is you like to go to supermarket and then go browse through different product. So even though there's an AI overview right there, give you some understanding of your search, you still want to go to search experience. So this is what their management respond back. And then if you go to Gemini, their way of searching, right, is through conversational. You like to have some conversational experience to find out your answer. So these two search is a bit different. Gemini is something like your friend, your customer service agent. You like to interact with a person. But Google search is like you go to the store yourself, you like to do scalping yourself. So in short, these two different search methods give two different search experience whereby they are still maintaining as two sites instead. Do you think makes sense? So this is in terms of like their business direction. They want to ask, would they put more emphasis on building a Gemini type of search experience, or they just keep with their Google search experience? Yeah. So this is the things that the analysts want to find out. Would they put more resources on Gemini? Because ChatGPT have come up with their intentions to build browser. We don't know what is their experience like if they build up browsers, but for Gemini or for Google itself, they are still maintaining two different search experience. All right, so we can't say different lah. And one of the most crucial problems for all the tech company or even the developer world, if you are a developer, which company would you go to? All right, would you go to a company that pay you 100 million potentially, or you go to a different company like Google? So there's Meta AI team, there's Tesla, Elon Musk team, Grok AI, and there's this Microsoft software development team. All right, and right now you have this Google team as well. So as a developer, which company would you go to? And yeah, this is the questions that all the tech company have to address when our Mark Zuckerberg offer 100 million just to get one developer over. Right. So this is the question that are being raised as well. So this is what their response like. In my experience, the top people look for a combination. They want to be the forerunner or frontier on this driving progress, means they want to take charge as well. So if I go to Meta, I didn't take charge, I just follow. That's not where I want to go. And then the mission, also the state of art of the work that matter. So it's just not just hoo-ha, right, to be the AI frontier, take the front page of certain like magazine or whatever. No, they believe people who join Google would love to participate in the work itself, to put in their contributions in the work that they want to grow. Right. So this is very important for Google developer. They want to participate. So that's why they thought with this group of people who like to grow together, their peers is also important. So they thought working with this group of people are crucial. So they thought Google team has, yeah, there's challenge of hiring, but for the talent itself is still manageable. So this is what they address. Yeah, and then of course lah, with all the rising developer costs, would they eat into their margins? So they say, yeah, it's a part and parcel, but they are still working hard to offset it. So in other words, it's either they can drive more efficiency or drive for revenue. So with the people who they get in, right, obviously developers have to address that lah. You get hired in a team, right? You also will get fired in the team as well. So this is what they highlight lah. It's part and parcel, and then you'll find somewhere to offset it. So as investor, right? So these are all the questions that are being raised and addressed. So from their products, from the threat from AI, from team hiring, So they address in this earnings call. So without going into earnings call, right, most likely we will not get this insight from the management. And then I find listening to all these earnings call, give me some understanding whether they are managing it well. Give me some understanding whether they are confident in their business and whether they can foresee how their business going forward. So once you have the key gist or key idea whether the company can grow moving forward, right, then you form your thesis and form your conclusion of the Google business. So for myself, when I look at all these threats or even bad connotations or even like doomsday like comment to Google, right, I look at my own activity. I still using Google search. Not good Gemini yet, but I still using Google search. I still go to YouTube. Yeah. Just like what I experienced previously when Facebook face issue, right? I still using Facebook. Even Facebook have issue, right? I'm still using Instagram. So I still using their service, enjoying their service as a user, and also yeah, the growth are still there for the company itself, right? How can you enlighten more about this? You mean the business overall, right? So the business overall, I say is still positive. They are still growing in the teens, and then their cloud are still growing at 30%, and their margin is still improving. And if you look at other cloud business margin, for example, Amazon, right? Amazon are generating 30% operating margin. So Google still can increase their operating margin to 30% if they can match Amazon, right? 30% growth in their Google Cloud and then 20% operating margin is definitely a space for Google to grow. And for all the different unicorn out there are still growing, right? Since they start with Google, right? Most likely they will still continue to use Google. And with the healthy and encouraging environment for new tech startup operator, right? Most likely they will join Google as well. Yeah. So maybe yes, Amazon, Microsoft, the leader in cloud space, but Google Cloud, even though they are the third, they are gaining market shares in all those different new tech startup company. So this is what we see. I'd like to close this with this quote by Warren Buffett. Wonderful business if you purchase at a very high price or very high valuation. No matter how good or how so-called impressive the business is, you would still be potentially making a loss in the investment. Why? Because you're paying a high price. When the valuation went down, you get hurt just by the price decrease, not the business deteriorate. Yeah. So when it comes to business or investing, right, valuation is still the key. And then purchasing or investing in business with margin of safety give you some edge of making error, right? So let's come to the last portion, which is the valuations. So if you look at a different like Magnificent Seven, right? So these are the different company. So compared to S&P 500, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta have beat S&P 500. So S&P is like 8%, right? Meta is 20, Microsoft 22, Nvidia close to 30%. So these are the three leaders in Magnificent Sevens. Who are the laggard? So Amazon just 6%, like Apple and Tesla is the worst. All right. Google is just like making like 1% compared to year to date. All right. So Google are lagging behind. All right. So is this a good time to invest? All right. So let's look at the different valuations from the different company. Apple to Apple comparison, but just have a sense of how their price to sales valuation at. One of the very simple is using price to sales, right? Why? Because revenue is the figures that couldn't manipulate compared to earnings. Earnings can be manipulated in the sense that they can put in expenses to manipulate earnings, but sales cannot be manipulated. Means you did $1 sales means $1 sales. Yeah. So this is a thing whereby if using the relative valuation, right, price to sales might be better compared to price to earnings, lah. Although price to earnings is more conventional one, right? So if you look at price to sales, right, Nvidia is still the pricier end, which is 29 times price to sales. If you look at Microsoft, it's 14. Yeah, Amazon 3. But of course, these are all different type of businesses. That's why their price to sales are different. And if you look at Google, right, it's at 6 times. So if you compare like Google, Microsoft, and also Meta, which is more like software end, right, Google is still at the lower end. Microsoft is at 14 times. Meta is at close to 9 to 10 times. Okay, yeah, Tesla is like 11 times. Yeah. So we just compare in like software world, Microsoft, Meta, and also Google. Yep. And if you just look at Google alone, the past 5 years price to sales is hovering between 3 times, 3.8 times to 8 times. Right now it's like roughly 6 times. So it's like in their average price to sales. So if you ask me, actually they are at fair value pricing. Yeah. And I think I felt that compared to their peers, compared to Meta, compared to Microsoft, actually Google is at the more attractive valuation. All right. So this is what I'm looking as a conclusion for Google. Google, they are still growing. They are still very aggressive in the sense that growing in the Google Cloud front. They are forerunner in the AI space. Although there's a lot of challenge from ChatGPT, from Perplexity, from Claude, they are still in a very strong ecosystem within the user group. And if you look at their valuations, it's still attractive compared to Meta and compared to Microsoft. So this is the conclusion for these sessions, right? So just let me know if you like what I've been sharing, and then do you get any value from here? All right. So just a conclusion right here. So for those who are on YouTube and then you like to get this portion or insights of investing in the company, how I look in the company, what is the key ideas that will pick up within our close community, this is what I will share lah. Yep. So if you like it, it's 990 or close to so-called USD $10 per month. All right, and then you just go to this QR code or just go click.google.com/join-WP to join us every single week, Tuesday. And all the recording is in this like Wellpulse or in this committee that we have. And you can go back to, if I'm not wrong, close to 2 years. All the recording is still there. Really happy to share with you my finding. All right. So if you are here, just hit me a like, hit me a love if you like what I've been sharing for tonight. So once again, thanks everyone for joining in. Just like click likes, type in your comment, share with me your thoughts. If you are in the WhatsApp group, just share with me what you have learned and share with your friends. If you have some friends that have missed out for the past 1-2 years or whatever, you want to invite them back, I can just share them the YouTube link. See everyone next week. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.